Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a moment to celebrate an incredible life, an amazing career, really. We lost Lynn Hamilton recently at 95.
Such a talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for so many of us, we instantly think of Donna Harris on Sanford and Son.
Right, or Miss Verdi on the Waltons. Iconic roles, for sure.
Exactly. But today, our deep dive is about, well, uncovering more. The other chapters, the work that really shows her incredible range.
Yeah, that's the mission here. Because Lynn Hamilton, her impact, it often gets boiled down to just those two roles, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When her career was just this embodiment of resilience, of dignity, and just, wow, versatility, stage, film, TV.
So much.
We really want to unpack all of that today. The breadth of her work, the stories behind the characters, and the legacy she leaves.
Okay, let's do it. So her story, it starts, well, not in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
More Heartland.
Right. Yazoo City, Mississippi, born Alzini Lynn Hamilton, April 25th, 1930.
And the family, her parents, Nancy and Louie, they moved to Chicago when she was only 4.
Yeah, settled there. She went to Bloom High School in Chicago Heights.
But getting into acting, it wasn't easy. She did some modeling,
yeah.
graduated from the Goodman School of Drama Theater.
Mm-hmm.
But she hit this wall. She actually said, and this is a direct quote, "I was the only black actor in my class, and so there weren't any roles for me."
Wow. That's stark.
It really is. How does someone navigate that kind of systemic obstacle, back then especially?
Well, that quote, it's so telling, isn't it? But what's fascinating is how she didn't let it stop her. She was strategic.
Okay.
Instead of waiting for roles that weren't there, she, went out and got experience, joined a Southside theater company.
Ah, practical experience.
Exactly.
Right.
Hands-on. And that became her springboard. It's what got her to New York in 56.
Right.
And pretty quickly, she gets into film, John Cassavetes' Shadows in 1959. Groundbreaking stuff.
And theater too, right? Broadway.
Oh, yeah. 4 Broadway shows, bang, bang, bang. Only in America in 59, then The Cool World and Face of a Hero, both in 1960, and Tambourines to Glory in 63.
That's quite a start, especially considering those early challenges. And she went global too.
Yeah, incredibly. Doing Shakespeare with Joseph Papp.
Wow.
And touring the world, The Miracle Worker, The Skin of Our Teeth. This was part of President Kennedy's cultural exchange program.
No kidding.
Yeah. Eventually landed at the Seattle Repertory Theater in 1966. So, think about that journey before she was even a household name.
It really highlights her dedication, doesn't it? To the craft itself, not just...
But not just celebrity.
Yeah.
Exactly. It speaks volumes about her commitment to acting as, an art form.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't chasing the spotlight right away. She was building skills, understanding different styles, building that foundation.
Which must be why she was so good later on.
I think so. That depth, that stage-honed understanding of character, that's what brought that grounded dignity to her TV work.
Okay, so with that strong theater background, how did she end up on mainstream TV?
Yeah.
Like Sanford and Son. That first appearance wasn't even Donna, right?
No, exactly. It was February 72, 7th episode. She played this landlady giving Lamont, Demond Wilson's character, a hard time.
Just a one-off.
Supposedly. But here's where it gets really interesting. The producers, they were just, blown away by that one scene.
Really?
Yeah. So impressed that, a month or 2 later, they decided Fred Sanford needed a girlfriend. And they thought of her.
Amazing.
And get this, Red Fox himself specifically asked for her.
He did. Why?
He told her the show needed somebody dignified opposite him. He was aware of his own, let's call it earthliness.
Huh. That's fantastic. What a compliment from Red Fox.
Huge compliment. So she played Donna, the registered nurse, right through 77. They got engaged on the show, Donna and Fred.
But never married.
Never actually tied the knot, no. And you probably remember Lamont's nickname for her.
Oh, yeah. The Barracuda.
That's the one.
That nickname, it really speaks to that comedic dynamic Fox wanted, doesn't it?
It really does.
How does she pull that off?
Yeah.
Maintaining Donna's dignity while playing into that, specific humor.
That's her skill right there. She understood the comedy, the contrast, but she never, ever sacrificed the truth of Donna. That's why Donna felt so real, so beloved.
And it's incredible.
Yeah.
She was doing Sanford and then also started on the Waltons around the same time.
Yeah, juggling both, which just shows you her versatility, right?
Yeah.
Pivoting between that sharp, sometimes physical comedy of Sanford
Right.
and the really gentle, heartfelt drama of the Waltons. Completely different worlds.
So the Waltons. She debuted February 73, episode 21, The Scholar.
That's right, playing Miss Verdi, the neighbor. And in that episode, John Boy Richard Thomas, he gives Verdi reading and writing lessons.
Oh, I remember that one. So moving.
Incredibly moving. Verdi's daughter was about to graduate college, and she wanted to be able to read and write for that. That episode actually won a screenwriting Emmy for John McGreevey.
Wow. deservedly.
Yeah.
And she stayed with the Waltons for a long time.
Oh, yeah. 16 other episodes, all the way through 81. And she came back for the holiday TV movies in 93 and 97, too. And Verdi eventually married Harley Voster, played by Hal Williams.
Hal Williams, who was all talk.
Sanford and Son. And 227, small world in television back then.
It really was. Okay, so those two roles are iconic, but as you said, her career was so much broader. A true chameleon.
Totally. She could really adapt seamlessly across
Yeah.
genres, formats.
How did she manage that kind of adaptability?
Well, I think directors just knew she could deliver. You could put her on any set, drama, sitcom, miniseries, and she'd bring it. She had this inherent gravitas, but also this lightness when she needed it.
You see that in the soaps she did too.
Exactly. She was on Generations, the NBC daytime drama from 89 to 91, played the matriarch, Vivian Potter. Tough gig, actually.
Why is that?
It ran opposite The Young and the Restless, the CBS juggernaut.
Oof, tough slot.
Yeah. And then she was on Dangerous Women, that syndicated nighttime soap in 91, 92. Played Sissy Johnson, an ex-con.
Soaps require such discipline too.
Incredible discipline. The memorization, the daily grind just proves her work ethic again.
And then there were all the other significant TV appearances, like Roots, The Next Generations.
Right. Cousin Georgia Anderson in 79. And recurring roles, too. Remember her as the snippy Emma Johnson on 227.
Oh, yes. She was great in that.
And she played a judge on ABC's The Practice for a while.
It's just the sheer volume of quality work is amazing when you list it out.
It really is. And the guest spots. I mean, the list is like a who's who of classic TV. Room 222, Mannix, Gunsmoke,
Rockford Files, Quincy.
The Golden Girls, NYPD Blue, Judging Amy, right up to Cold Case.
Decades of work.
Decades. It shows her talent, obviously, but also just her reliability. People kept calling her because they knew she'd bring that depth, that authenticity, no matter what the role was.
And we shouldn't forget her film work After Shadows. She worked with Sidney Poitier twice.
That's right. Brother John in 71, Buck and the Preacher in 72. Huge.
And Lady Sings the Blues that same year. Lead Belly in 76, Legal Eagles later in 86. A really solid filmography, too.
Definitely diverse.
And beyond the work, she had this long, rich personal life, too. Her marriage to Frank Jenkins.
Yes, the poet and playwright, author of Driving While Black in Beverly Hills. They were married from 1964 right up until he passed away in 2014 at 89.
A long partnership.
A very long partnership. And it wasn't just personal, it was artistic too. They actually collaborated on several stage productions together.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it really shows how central the arts were to her entire life, And it's quite poignant, actually. After he passed, she moved back to Chicago.
Back home.
Yeah, bringing that incredible journey full circle back to where her parents first brought her.
When you look back, Lynn Hamilton's legacy is just immense.
Mm-hmm.
Versatile, dignified, prolific. She brought something so authentic to every single role.
Absolutely.
From the comedy with Red Fox to the quiet strength of Miss Verdi and everything else. She really feels like a cornerstone of American acting, looking at her whole career.
She really does. And her journey, I mean, think about it. Starting out as the only black actor in her class, struggling to even find roles, to becoming this truly beloved, incredibly busy actress across stage, film, television. It's a powerful lesson, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the thought for you, our listeners, this. Considering that journey, what does Lynn Hamilton's career teach us? About resilience, maybe. About carving out your own path and leaving a mark, even, when things look really tough at the start.
That's a really powerful question to reflect on. Definitely makes you want to go back and watch some of her work again.
Yeah.
See that depth, that breadth of talent for yourself.